Hey there YouTube, it's me TFNation Wilderness. Welcome to my channel, and it's that time of the month again when I show you what I've got throughout the course of the month. My end of month bot haul, the bot haul for August of 2024, and it's a bumper haul this month because TFNation 2024 happened this month, and I had my usual massive haul from TFNation. But I also buy stuff outside of the convention in August, so I was obviously there in this haul as well. And I've got 36 items to get through this month. So I want to try and keep this video under an hour if possible, because I like to chitty chat, and I've already shown you my TFNation haul once already. I've got it here again, though I'm going to sort of skip over it as best I can. I might say a few things about some of the figures that I've bought and messed with since then. But apart from that, let's just get cracking on this, shall we? So to start off with, comics. I've still been buying my Marvel G1 comics. The first, obviously I'm now down to like a handful of comics in the 300 series that I need to collect to complete the full set of Marvel G1 comics. And I'm obviously sourcing them off eBay. Some of them I'm still getting from that Susanna Carter, because she's still got a few issues that a few issues of me. But as we get closer to the end of the comic run with issue 332, they're getting more and more expensive, and yeah, it's becoming a bit of a chore now. But I've sort of set myself a budget for these 300 series comics of a budget of £15. And if I manage to get one under that, then I add that money to like the reserve pot, and then that can be used to then buy more expensive comics down the line. And so far I've been doing pretty well with this tactic. But anyway, this month a couple of comics came up, and they were on eBay. So let's get on with it, shall we? So first comics to arrive on the 3rd. So we got issue 315. We've got issue 325. And we got issue 314. So we've got those three. Again, I can't tell who I got them from by looking at my my list, but they're 3 comics I got off eBay, and that was the start of my sort of comic buying for this month. And so that was that. That was on the 3rd. So moving on to the next day, the 6th, which was the 6th of August. Another comic arrived, and I got 326. So like I said, there's only a couple of 300 series issues I need now to complete the set. And then on the following day, the 7th, I got 329. This one's a little bit ropey, a little bit tatty, but I don't mind buying comics that are a bit tatty in the 300 series, because they're so expensive otherwise. To get a mint comic, they're asking 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 or 100 quid depending on which issue it is. So yeah, so this one's a bit ropey, but it's still intact, so got that one. And that's the comics for now. So then before TFNation, I had a pre-order notification from Comics and Cocktails came in to say, your pre-order's been processed, and it arrived on the 9th, the day before the convention, and a few people got these at TFNation. Transformers collaborative crossover, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Party Wallop. I quite like the crossover bots. I've been buying a bunch of them. In fact, I've placed my pre-order for that Knight Rider crossover, Agent Knight. I've got my pre-order done with that, with Comics and Cocktails. But this one, it's very clever the way they've integrated all the turtle gimmicks into this toy. You can change the head sculpt, you can change the hat. It's got all the different weapons for all the 4 turtles. It's a great thing. You pull his chest plate off, and he's got like the turtle chest, and obviously he's come with his size swords, and then you've got the Takara blade and the size swords, and then storing in the back, you've got some more of the accessories are stored in the back of the thing. It's really very well thought out figure. The transformation though is a bit of a pain to get it into its alt mode. because it's a panel former, and a lot of the panels, they need to go in a certain order of operation for them to clip together, and some of them don't quite peg in quite as well as they ought to. So it's a bit of a bear to transform this thing. Also, because it's based on the original Turtle bus from the original 1986 Turtle show, it's got this it's kind of goofy look about it, and I'm not really a fan of that. I like a bit of Turtles. I'm not a huge Turtles fan, but I do like a bit of Turtles, but I prefer the later renditions of the Turtles rather than the original one. But still, I thought I'd get this because it's an interesting thing. The fact that you can convert it to each of the 4 Turtles is a brilliant gimmick, and I thought I'd get it. It's really cool. The only thing is the name, Party Wallop. I mean, come on, they could have called him Metalhead, because there was a turtle robot called Metalhead. Why didn't they just call him Metalhead? Or was that they couldn't work that in because of contractual or sort of copyright reasons? I don't know. So they maybe had to come up with a new name, and they decided to call it the Party Wallop. But some of these crossovers, some of the names they're coming up from are a bit stupid. Like that X-Men crossover, Expanse. What a stupid name what that was. But anyway, so I got this guy from Comics and Cocktails. It's an okay figure, interesting crossover, got some good gimmicks going on it, but the transformation's not that great. But apart from that, it's an okay figure. Right, so that's all the stuff before TFNation. Obviously, I want to say a few words about TFNation itself. Obviously, this year was a different convention to me, mainly because last year, due to the Hilton checking up their hotel room price, it turned out to be the most expensive convention I've ever attended, because I went whole hog with the convention package last year. I did the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I did Club Con, Early Access, the whole 9 yards. But then you add to that the Hilton jacking their room price up from £78 for a single room tonight to £100 per single room per night, and it's like, and it made for a really expensive convention. It was like, just for the convention ticket and the hotel room booking last year, it was £355, and that was like outrageous. And I decided this year I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut my convention experience right back to the bare bones, and I just paid for a Saturday and a Sunday ticket. I didn't turn up on the Friday, hence the reason why I wasn't in the bar Friday night. I didn't stay over in the hotel, the reason why I wasn't in the bar Saturday night. In fact, the bar area, I barely touched it all weekend. I sort of went over there and had a quick look round, but I barely set foot in the bar area all weekend. And because I wasn't staying in the hotel, I was commuting from home, because I only live about 15 miles away from the convention centre or convention site, and I just commuted to and from by car each day. So I'd drive up to about 9 o'clock in the morning. On the Saturday I got booked in. I think I sat in the opening ceremony, and then I went and stood in the queue. Didn't pay for early access, so I had to go in with the masses. It wasn't super busy, and I didn't really have a game plan going into the convention this year, but I got quite a lot of stuff. I took my usual sort of budget amount, and I managed to spend every single penny of it, so that was quite good. Usually I either overspend or I've got a little bit left over. But yeah, so that was my convention. Unusual, different style or feel to the convention this year, but it worked kind of well. I don't know what I'm going to do next year, whether I'm going to stay in the Hilton next year. I know it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to do so, but we'll have to wait and see how I feel next year. But this year, I just wanted to try the daily commute to see how I felt about it, and it was all right. It led for a slightly different convention experience for me, but still, it's what I decided to do, and it was all right on the most part. Right, so my haul. Like I said, I want to try and skip over this as I've shown it in my TFNation haul. So the first thing I bought on the Saturday was I went over to the Blokees table, and I bought a box set of the Blokees Wave 4 Galaxy figures. So I built them when I got home on the the Saturday night and the Sunday morning. So I got was it Hook and Scrapper. The guy I really wanted it for, Tarn, and obviously got Ultra Magnus as well. Another character I really like. Then Nemesis Prime, another character I would have liked to have got, and then I got the shiny Shockwave. I got the limited edition Shockwave in my box set that I bought, so I got him. Then we've got Smokescreen, and of course you had Snarl in both his robot mode and his alt mode. So I built them, like I said, when I got home on the... I built 2 of them on the Saturday night, and then I built the rest of them because I got up early on the Sunday morning and I built the rest of them. It took me... I timed myself doing it. It took me between sort of 8 to 15 minutes, depending on which model it was. I mean, I got faster as I went along, and it all depends how good your modelling skills are. I've got a reasonable amount of modelling experience in my life, so I found them quite easy. They're snap together kits. You have a few parts on the sprues which you can cut off, or you can just twist them off with your fingers, and then you just pop them all together. Nicely weighted joints. They're amazingly posable, and it's got that basic skeleton underneath which all the other parts plug onto to make their unique character. They're really great. Don't know whether I'll be tempted to get any more, because I'm one of those Transformers collectors that believes a Transforming figure, or a Transformers figure, should transform, because that's the whole point of the gimmick, isn't it, of being a Transformers. These don't transform. Part of the reason why I bought this is because I'd seen a video online with a guy called Notion. He did a video with these, and he actually did a transformation sequence with Tarn that made it look like it transformed. And I thought, wow, yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of Tarn from the DJD, and I thought, yeah, I want to get that so I can transform it. When I tried to transform it myself, I found I had to take bits off, I had to fold bits around, and he fudged it in the video by using blue tack to stick some bits on. So it didn't really work, but still, I got the box set, and they're really good. They're really good, and I don't regret buying them, so I bought those. So next, I bought a couple of figures from In Demand. I got Legacy United Shard, and I got Studio Series Scorponok. Shard, really good mould, nice and solid. You can transform it without taking any of the parts off. It is possible. You can do that with this figure, and it's a really good mould, and I quite like it. Scorponok, interesting design. The engineering on the arms and the legs is quite interesting. It's got some really interesting engineering on this, the way that the legs turn inside and out and stuff like that. It's pretty cool the way the engineering works on this, but apart from that, it's a fairly sort of standard bot. Then I went over to the Primetime Toys, and I bought my most expensive purchase of the weekend. Robot Paradise RP02 Acoustic Blaster, Fans Toys Sound Blaster. Right, now, I had a bit of a moment with this figure when I tried to get it out the box and transform it for the first time. A bad one, a bad first experience. When I opened the box and got it out, it was slightly mistransformed. It was in robot mode, but the waist had been compressed and the legs were on back to front. And I was trying to transform it. I thought, well, hang on, the legs are on back to front, the waist bits are on back to front, the waist skirts are on back to front. I tried to spin it round, but it wouldn't go. The waist was locked. And I thought, and I was struggling with it, and I was forcing it, and I thought, I'm going to break this thing in a minute. And I honestly thought that I'd been sold a duffer. I thought I'd been sold a faulty toy with a QC issue on it, or a jammed joint or whatever. And I was getting really flustered and upset about it. And I was going to contact Primetime Toys and tell them that the figure I bought was duff. But then all of a sudden it just the waist released itself, and that unlocked everything, and I could then move the waist and the legs and everything, and it fixed itself. There's like a little metal sliding joint in his waist, and I think there's a screw that holds it on, and that screw might have been over tightened, so I don't know whether that screw needs loosening off or backing off a turn or two just to loosen it up. Anyway, I decided to transform it into cassette mode. And I did it using the instructions, because after that little scare I had with it out the box, I didn't trust this thing, even though it's got the QC label on it. It's basically Soundwave. Obviously, to get that super clean G1 cartoon aesthetic, it has a few extra cover panels that sort of move around. Very, very heavy, a lot of die cast, blah blah blah. It's a great figure, and I could have got the Soundwave version, but they were asking, this was 170 quid, they were asking 200 quid for the Soundwave version, and I went with this one because I thought, well, I haven't got many sound blasters in my collection, so I might as well go with the black one. So, and I do like a black repaint. So I got him, and like I said, I had a bit of a scare with him out the box, and that's, you know, tempered my enthusiasm for this toy a little bit. So I don't think quite as highly of it as I used to do because of that reason. And of course, it came with this guy, Nightbat. Decent enough. It's a Fans Toys or a Robot Paradise cassette. I've got a few of them already. That's why I needed to get this, because I'd already got some of the cassettes. I just didn't have the, you know, the Soundwave or Sound Blaster figure to go with them. But yeah, so I got Nightbat. He's all right. He's okay. And then, right, so what's next? Yeah, then there was that what were they called? Junk Shop Japan. There's some Japanese guys who had a little table with a load of Japanese exclusives on, and they had the Earthspark Deluxes. So I got hold of Aftermath from you know, season 2 of Earthspark. This is the Takara version. It's got the Takara paint scheme on it. It's a deluxe figure. It was 50 quid because it was a Japanese import, you know. But it's an alright figure. Transforms reasonably well. Good looking figure. Interesting joint. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright. Got him. Then the one that I really like the look of was this guy. Now in the box he was in Dino mode. In fact, they were all in Alt mode in the boxes. And so, you know, Terran Jawbreaker. He's all right, this guy. He's really, really good. He's quite bulky. He's got a lot of plastic in him. And the paint apps are really good. There are some missing articulation joints on this. He hasn't got a waist joint and he hasn't got any thigh swivels. And also the dino head. Right, it's got an opening mouth, but apart from that, it needed a ball joint on the head so it can give it some head motion, like it could, you know, go up and down, left and right. There's no ball joint, or there's no joint in the head, in the dino head, which is a bit disappointing. So I was a little bit disappointed at, you know, the lack of some jointage on this. I know it's only a deluxe figure, but then again, the deluxes are better than the warrior class, aren't they? I was thinking about getting the warrior class Jawbreaker, but he's very simplistic and he's hardly got any paint. That's why I wanted to wait for a deluxe version to come out. This is all right. It's okay. It's all right. I just wish it had a few more joints on it, and then it would have been really, really good. But apart from that, he's not a bad figure. He's all right. He transforms really well. But yeah, he's all right. Then I looked around the hall. There was I remember there was a Takara figure that I wanted to look at. I saw it on some of the other stores, but they were asking over 100 quid for it, and I thought, oh, where am I going to get it? And then I wandered around. I went over to Kapow, found they was doing it for, what was it, 65 quid or 75 quid. Lunar Cruiser Prime, yeah, the JAXA, or the Japanese Aeronautical Exploration Association, or whatever they're called. Yeah, so this is a really good figure. I really like it. I mean, I'm not a fan of you know, vanilla Optimus Prime, you know, the red and blue one, but technically this is an Optimus Prime because it says Lunar Cruiser Prime. It's not Optimus Prime, it's just the Prime. So yeah, according to the name of it, it's not actually Optimus, even though it's got Optimus's head sculpt and stuff. But still, it's a decent figure. It's a really cool design. It transforms really nicely. It's good. It's good. I like it. And to that futuristic, well, that sort of concept moon rover that Toyota have been designing for JAXA, and pretty cool figure actually. I like it a lot. Then the next thing I got was my TFNation Tour T-shirt, because I prepaid for it when I got my ticket, and yeah, I'm wearing it. So yeah, it's got all the stuff on the back. Yeah, so Tour T-shirt. I always buy a Tour T-shirt every year. They're a bit simplistic. It's just like, you know, that year's logo and all the Tour information on the back. I found out that they don't do well in the wash. Some of my older tool t-shirts, I washed it because I used them at the weekend, and I washed them, and the logos are starting to bleach out, and it's like, ouch. You know, you don't pay 25 quid for a t-shirt to have it like bleach out after a couple of washes. So yeah, if anybody's watching from TFNation, you sort it out. You know, get some better quality logos on your t-shirts that are more durable in the wash. Yeah, so I got my tour t-shirt. Then there's a couple of things to finish off the Saturday. Got hold of Legacy. I was lucky enough to get hold of the last Legacy United Vector Prime off the in-demand store. They had a bunch of them at the beginning, but they went for the early access. Then they were out of stock. But then I think they found some more on the Saturday afternoon and put them out, and they snapped up quick, and I got the last one. Now there's people saying that this mould, you know, shouldn't have been used for Vector Prime. He should have got his own mould. And I agree with that, because Cybertron Vector Prime is one of my favourite characters of all time. I really love his, and voiced by, what's his name? Richard, what would I... Cool guy doing the voice. I actually met him at one of the previous conventions. Now, they use the JAXA mould. It kind of works. I think it's all right as it stands. But then after the convention, I get that notification from Toy Hacks, their retro label set for this guy. Have you seen the retro label set they're doing for this guy? You get some plastic panels that cover over the ugly, you know, messy wiring on his shins. So it fixes that problem with the legs, and then it gives you all the paint apps you could ever want. It's got like, you know, like it's got reflective panels for the solar, you know, for the solar panels. It looks amazing, and I'm really tempted to get the retro label set for this guy, because it really sets him off and makes him look like the character he's supposed to be. So yeah, it's all right. I like this, but I think it needs a little bit more, or they should have gave him his own mold instead of reusing another mold. I agree with that, but it's all right as it is. But I'm definitely thinking about getting that retro label set. If it's still available or it hasn't sold out, we'll have to wait and see. But I do like this guy. Vector Prime's one of my favourite characters, and to get another version of him was pretty cool. And then the last thing I bought on the Saturday was this guy, Power Core Combiner's Skyhammer, and I got it off the Toy Foo stall. It's the only thing I bought off Toy Foo all weekend, and it cost me I paid 10 quid for it. So yeah, I didn't buy that much stuff from Toy Foo. I think the best of their stuff was on their stall for early access, and it went. We know that they beat their target that they were going for. They beat it quite comfortably, and they do all that good stuff for Mary's Meals. And you've got to buy at least one figure from you know, Toy Foo store, and this was my purchase for the weekend. Usually I buy 2 or 3 things from their store, but this month, or this year, I only got the one figure. It's an interesting little mould. Some of these Power Core Combiner Corebots are kind of interesting, so I've bought a couple of them. So I saw him and bought him, and I thought he was kind of interesting. And that was the Saturday. So moving on to the Sunday, I went home, ate some food, built some Blokees, went to bed, woke up in the morning, built some more Blokees, had some breakfast, and then came back to the convention the following day. Now, there was something I'd seen on the Space Bridge stall on the Saturday afternoon. I've been wandering around and eyeing it up, and says I want to make a play on that. So the first thing, as soon as I got into the dealer hall on Sunday, I made a beeline for it. Takara United, Darkside, Optimus Prime and Megatron. So it's the War for Cybertron, Optimus and Megatron, but done in this amazing... I mean, it's a black, you know, sort of Nemesis repaint of Optimus, but the Megatron's got all this wonderful deep metallic purple on him. Looks amazing. 100 quid this 2-pack was, and as you can see, they're still tied up in the bubble, so they're still sealed effectively. Now the thing is, I've got the original molds. I've got the original War for Cybertron Deluxe Optimus Prime and the War for Cybertron Deluxe Megatron, but this is the Takara version, not the Hasbro version, so it's got, you know, extra paint on it. So I've got the original moulds. Both of these came from other YouTubers. This I got off John Garringer, and this I got off Matthew Grant, the toy therapist. So they both got these from other YouTubers. So they're quite special to me. But these guys, the reason I got this set is for the black repaint of the War for Cybertron mould. So that's the reason why I got it, because I like my Nemesis Primes or my Black Primes, and I wanted to get a version of this figure in these colours. But because they're still sealed in the box, I'm reluctant to get them out. I don't need to get them out because I've already messed with the moulds otherwise. So they're not new moulds to me. So I think I'm just going to leave them in their box for now. I might get them out at a later date. I don't know, but for now they're just gonna stay in the box. That's what I've decided. Then something I saw on the in-demand store. Yep, Marvel Legends Superheroes Death's Head. Yeah, it's that big. I mean, how big is he? What, 7.5 inch Death's Head character. It was a convention exclusive, as I understand, but in demand got a bunch of them, and they put them out on the Sunday morning. I had to have this. I've got the smaller, what they call them, Marvel Legends Infinity one. I've got that one, but this one, great figure. It's Death's Head, but it's not my Death's Head. It's not the Death's Head. It's not the Death's Head that we had in the Marvel G1 comics, because he's got this other colour, design. I mean, he should have that brown jacket with all the green bits, and he hasn't got that. I wish they would do like an Origins Death's Head where he's in the original get up that he had when he was in the Transformers comic. I wish they'd do that. But it's Death's Head nevertheless, and we all love Death's Head. He's an amazing character, or he was an amazing character when he was in the the Marvel G1 comics. More recently, there was a Death's Head comic that came out a couple of years ago. It was like a 4-issue sort of like mini comic, where they sort of brought Death's Head back, and it was called The Body in Question, and there was 2 Death's Head. There was this Death's Head and another Death's Head, and they were. And I got it and read it, and it was interesting. It was good, but yeah, Death's Head. He's a legacy character from the Marvel G1 days who I still have an affinity for. So I saw it, so I had to buy it. So I had to get him. Then, yeah, something I saw on the Saturday again. Decided to get them. Nonnef Productions at what was it called? G-Works stall. They were doing all those third-party upgrade sets for various figures, and they were doing them for Studio Series Sludge, so that you can transform him into paddles. So I've got the, was it the foot upgrade? I've got that's the paddles upgrade for the to give it to turn the legs into the paddles. That's the bit that changes his bits on his head sculpt and his chest to make him look different. Then you've got the flippers, and then you've got the neck extension, and I've got a few extra pieces. So I've got 6 bags of parts, which at some point I'm going to convert a Studio Series 86 Sludge into paddles. I've only got one Studio Series Sludge. I didn't think to buy another one at the convention while I was there, and I should have done. But I'm now in the market to buy another Studio Series, leader class Sludge. I was looking on eBay a couple of weeks ago, and a couple popped up on eBay at for loose ones for around about 40-ish quid, which is near enough. But next month I'm going to be looking out for a cheap. I don't want to pay full price for it. I don't want to pay like 55, 60 quid for it. I want to pay around about sort of 40, 45 quid for it. And it doesn't matter if it's loose, because I'm going to convert it anyway. So, but yeah, I decided I wanted to have a go at this. I definitely wanted to do the foot upgrade, because that's Studio Series Sludge. I don't like him because in Dino mode he's got them feet, then his toes like dangling down below his belly, and it just looks stupid. So I wanted to get that kit at the very least, but they had all the other bits. Now, I'm sure I was supposed to get the gun and the sword upgrade as well, but I didn't seem to get them in the pack. But the guy did ask me, he says, oh, what colour swords do you want? Do you want the, was it the red ones or the orange ones? And I said, I think I said orange or something, but anyway. There we go. So, yeah, so from, what they called? G-Works, I got a bunch of Nonnef Productions upgrade kits for Studio Series 86 Sludge. Then I went over to Kapow, bought a couple of Studio Series Voyager figures from Rise of the Beasts, starting with Cheetor. I've been collecting the characters from Rise of the Beasts, and I've largely been certain characters I've been doing, like the Decepticons. I've been doing the Studio Series stuff, but for the Autobots or the Maximals, I've been doing the the mainline, sort of Rise of the Beast mainline figures. I wasn't really interested in getting all the Studio Series figures, but going around at the convention, I saw this guy loose in a bag, and I thought, actually, that looks quite good. I might want to get it. So I went over to Kapow, managed to get myself a Cheetor. He's all right. Transforms pretty good. Again, it's like the thing about these Studio Series Rise of the Beast, Maximals, is they're just all in one colour. He's got the grey, but he's mostly all this like dirty yellow colour, and it. I wish they were a little bit more colourful, like their Beast One, original counterparts. But got him. Then got Rhinox as well. Again, I've got the mainline Rhinox, the Voyager Rhinox, which, to be honest, I prefer to this one. This is okay. It's got a few bits that the shoulder pauldrons like to pop off when you're transforming it. A few other bits like to pop off. It's all right. It's okay. It looks pretty good in both modes. It's a Studio Series, so it's screen accurate. But to be honest, I went with the other one. I went with the Rise of the Beast mainline figure, and I much prefer that to this. But decided to get him. So Kapow had both of them, so I made a play on them. Then there was another figure on the Space Bridge, another expensive deluxe that I saw and made a play on. Transformers subscription service 1.0 Scourge, or the Generations Laser Optimus Deluxe Laser Optimus Prime repainters Nemesis Prime. So yeah, so I decided to get this. Like I said, I like my Optimuses into being either Nemesis or white Prime Ultra Magnuses. So a black version of this mold is right up my street. It was 60 quid, but then again, it was a TFSS exclusive, so you can understand the price. It was it was a Timelines Collectors Club exclusive. So yeah, so managed to get hold of that. And then on wandering around the hall, I noticed there was a few dealers that was doing. They had boxes of parts, spare parts on their tables. Like IndieMan had a massive, great tub with a load of bits in the bottom, and I had a rummage through looking for a particular part. I couldn't find it, and then I was going around, and I stopped off at the Shins of the Wreckers stall, and on the foot of their stall they had a couple of containers with loose parts in. So I had a rummage. And I found something. I found a part. It was the right part but the wrong colour. It was a chest plate for, I think it was Combiner Wars Dead End. But then I looked again and I found the part that I was looking for. This is the chest piece for Combiner Wars Prowl. Now here I have a Combiner Wars Prowl. This one I bought at an EC Toy Fair sometime last year. I only paid a couple of quid for it. It was in alt mode. I bought it, got it home, went to transform it. Its chest plate is missing. Shit. I was really, really bummed about that. And I thought, well, what chances have I got of getting a spare part to fix this guy? And I looked online, there wasn't any. And I thought, damn it. And then I think it was a couple of weeks later, I went online and I bought another Combiner Wars Prowl that was complete with all its accessories. And this is now surplus to my requirements. But it still bugged me, the fact that I've got this figure and he's you know, missing his chest plate. He still transforms. You can still use him as part of a combiner, but in robot mode, he's just got this bare open chest with the exposed combiner port. But thanks to the Shins of the Wreckers guy, I actually managed to find the part that I needed. So it just clips on, and there we go. He's complete. So that's that. It was only £1. I've got a complete Combiner Walls Loose Prowl again. So yeah, that was great. So now I've got two. I've got two of these figures. I've got this is my duplicate. This is my surplus to requirements one. So if anybody out there is after a Combiner Walls Prowl, I've got no accessories for it. It's just a loose figure, but he is now complete with all his bits. Let me know, because I'm willing to pass this on to somebody who wants it. You know, so there we go. Managed to sort that guy out. Then again, it was like Sunday afternoon. I was rolling around. I wasn't saying I was on the dregs of my cash, but I had, you know, a couple of £100 left, and it was like, what can I buy? What can I buy? Wandering around, went past the Kapow table with all the boxes of loose figures. I saw something, and I thought, actually, I might want to get that. I was trying to look online to see what a picture of it looked like in robot mode, but I kept coming up with the wrong figure because I was putting the name in wrong. It was Strika with ER on the end instead of Striker with an A on the end. When I changed that, I got the pictures of it. So Beast Machine Strika, got this loose from Kapow. Now, her character in the show is quite good. I quite like her character in the show. Unfortunately, this toy doesn't really do her justice. It's the wrong colour for starters. I mean, in the show, she was like a sort of like a reddish maroony colour. Definitely not that here. Got weird arms, and the transformations. There's a lot going on in the transformation. It's a Beast Machines toy. It's weird, and she was one of the, you know, sort of like the Viacon generals. She came in later in season 2 with Obsidian, and so yeah, I got her. Not a great figure, but I just wanted it for the character more than anything else. I mean, the toy itself is a bit rubbish, but it's still a version of Striker. So I have got a Striker in my collection now. So that's the reason why I bought her. Then next, I went over to see my mate James Lai at Maximil of Toys, a guy which I've known for many years. In fact, we first met at Auto Assembly 2015. That's some 9 years ago. Boy, how time flies. Yeah, so I kept going into his stall over the course of the weekend, and I couldn't really see anything I particularly wanted. I always like to buy something from him because he's a bud, he's a pal. You know, I like to help him out, and I was looking around at what he got in his store, and every time I came back, he had less and less stuff on his store. So all the good stuff went, and then when I came back, you know, there was even less stuff there that I wanted. So eventually I went in and I had a good chat with him, and then I decided, look, I've got to buy something. I was looking around at what he had, and I chose this thing. X-Transbots Savant. So it's their sort of masterpiece version of Skids, G1 Skids. I do have the official masterpiece G1 Skids, and that's a great figure. This is okay for an X-Transbot figure. It's all right, but later in the Sunday afternoon after the dealer hall closed, I went into the quiet room and I was trying to transform this so I could fit him back in the box. And wow, I had quite a game trying to transform this guy, especially the arms. Trying to squeeze the arms under the hood of the vehicle mode is quite challenging. But yeah, I bought him. I'm sure James knocked £5 off the price of this because, you know, he gave me a mate's rate on it that he usually does. It's an okay figure. I kind of like it. It's all right. There was other things I would have preferred to have bought off his store, but this thing, it sufficed as a purchase from my mate James. Now, then kept moving around the hall, went over to In Demand, something I'd seen on their stall. Transformers Generations Air Raid, well, actually, it's Takara Generations TG12 Air Raid. It's basically the fall for Cybertron Shockwave repainted as an Autobot flyer. And there was a guy on YouTube, JCC2224 or 2224, JCC2224. He did a video on this mold with the other repaints of it, and after watching that video, it made me want to get it. But they only had this version available at the convention, so I got it. It was a resealed figure. It had the original packaging, but it'd been resealed. But it's an interesting mold. It's interesting. I think I've handled the Fall of Cybertron Shockwave mold before, but this is all right. This is okay. So I got that, and then it was like, last bits of cash. Something I've bought recently was one of those robo machines or GoBot, sort of third party upgrade kits from Action Toys, and I'd got their Boogeyman, and I wanted to get the original Boogie Boy figure, and I saw it on I think it was what was his name, What's Its Corner, his stall at the TF UK stall. He had one, but it was missing the tyres. The tyres had perished and fallen off. So I thought, well, actually, no, I wonder if I can pick one up. And I knew one guy that would probably have something like this, and that's the guy on Beyond Technologies. Is all right. I'm just looking at my cheat sheet over here. So he had one. So we had a GoBots Boogie Boy. Yeah, it's an interesting figure. He's loose. He's got lots of paint chipping on him and chrome wear. But, he transforms into a beach buggy. There you go, transforms into a beach buggy. And neat little figure. And like I said, I've got the Action Toys, sort of like third party, upgrade of this. And sort of like, you could call it a masterpiece version of this. So I wanted to get the original toy to go with it. And he had it, and he also sold me a stress relief Energon. Well, he gave me a stress relief Energon cube, so it's like a squidgy Energon cube that you can use stress relief if you want. So yeah, got hold of that. Then went back to that Junk Shop Japan and bought the other Earthspark Deluxe figure off him that he was selling. Hashtag, so Terran hashtag. He was doing these for 40 quid on the Sunday, whereas he was doing all of them for 50 quid each on the Saturday, so he dropped the price a little bit. She's all right compared to the other two, sort of Earthspark Deluxes I've got at this event. She's a little bit basic, and she hasn't got a waist joint. She's got, got 5 swivels. She's a little bit basic, and she's kind of small. Not in robot mode, but her alt mode, she turns into like a pickup truck, and it's not massively large. So yeah, she's a little bit underwhelming on the whole, but I decided to get it anyway. So I managed to get that. Then what was it? Yeah, we've got the last couple of bits. Back to Kapow in the loose boxes. I dug out Kingdom, Maximal Grimlock from that 2-pack. There was it Battles Across Time 2-pack, I think it was. Where they took the Beast Wars Dinobot and repainted it as Grimlock, because in the Beast Wars comic, Grimlock was, he was an analogue for Dinobot. And the original, I've got the original toy. I've got the original, Beast Wars Neo or Beast Wars Second Grimlock in the like a white and black repaint of the original Beast Wars figure. So I've got him. So he had this loose. Kapow had this loose for 25 quid. So I decided to get it. So it's a decent figure. I mean, Grimlock's a character that I really like, so to get this version of Grimlock, I mean, when I saw this come out, I was on the fence about getting it, but actually now that I've got it, it's actually pretty neat, so I do like that. And then the last thing, James Lai of Maximum Love Toys. Well, actually, this here, that used up the last of my money that I took to the convention. It was the last 25 quid I had, so I spent out completely. I was completely broke. I'd spent all my money buying that thing. So I had nothing. I was skint. And then James said to me, at the end of the convention, come back and see me. I might have something for you. So I went back to see James at Maximum Love Toys, having a quick chat, and then he turned around and picked up a figure off his store and said, here, I have one of these. And it was a Super 7 Reactions figure, and he picked up Starscream. And I thought, well, that's all well and good, but you've got another character next to it. Can I have that one instead? So he gave me a Super 7 Reaction Shockwave for free. Because he's a mate, you know, he's a buddy, he's a pal, you know, and he does things for me like that, and he's really, really good. So I got this. I'm going to keep this on the card. I'm not going to open it. There's no point. I mean, they've got next to no articulation, these things. They're just like little static figurines. So yeah, so James gave me this, and that was the end of my haul for TFNation this year. So a good convention, a different convention, like I said, because I commuted from home instead of staying in the hotel, and I didn't do the whole, you know, socialising in the bar on the Friday and Saturday night. So it was a very different convention for me in that regard. But you know, I took my usual amount of convention money that I saved up throughout the year, and I bought a load of stuff, and I did quite well out of it. So that was TFNation 2024. So now it's just another couple of bits just to finish this haul off. So then the day after, on the 12th, my Korean toys arrived. Starting with this guy. Mini Force Super Cops Captain Commander. He turns into a big ass truck. Comes with a huge trailer. So he's basically Optimus Prime. G1 Optimus Prime, but a way bigger. He's got his gun. He's got amazing butterfly shoulders. So he's got awesome butterfly shoulders. So yeah, he's a really cool figure. Something I forgot in the review: the key box that you use to unlock the trailer. I mean, basically on the trailer you've got these locks, and then you use this, and then that allows the trailer to open up like that. See? So yeah, but this plugs into his back. It's one of the parts forming pieces from his alt mode, because it forms the back roof of his cab. So it just plugs into his back like that, and I forgot to show that on the review. So there we go. Very big figure, decently articulated. It is missing a few joints. He hasn't got any thigh swivels, no ankle tilts or anything like that. He has got a waist joint. So yeah, he's reasonably articulated for a Korean figure, but still missing a few certain joints if you're, you know, the Transformers fraternity. But a really big, impressive toy, and expensive. I mean, this thing, it cost me like 95 quid to get this imported from Korea. So yeah, it was one of the more expensive Korean figures I've ever bought. But he is very big and impressive, and because he's such a big, impressive bot, I might be putting him in the big bot spot in my bedroom display spot, which is that Hello Carbot King Guider has been in there since I got him. But I think it's time for a changing of the guard, I think, and putting this guy on display. So that was that. And then the next figure I got, and I did the review on it this morning because you've seen the review on it earlier today. Hello Carbot's Rook X. It's a rework or an X version of Hello Carbot's Rook from season 2, along with the Sam Chang Zar, Knight, Rook and Pawn. They have this gimmick where they have these tape dispensers on their person, or he's got them on the back of his knees. This coloured tape comes out, and you can cut out the symbols on the tape and slap them in a picture book, like a sticker book that you get. Decent figure, not the most articulated, but it's better than the original toys in that he's got working legs. Because the original toy, the big ass, leader class scale one-step changes that were the original toys from season 2, they had no articulation on the legs at all because they were one-step auto changes. But this guy, at least, he's got working legs, so that makes him instantly superior to the original toy. But yeah, so I got him, reviewed him earlier today. So yeah, Hello Carbot Rook X. And then just a few things to finish off this video. Ordered some more comics. Now, I had another comic order arrive on the 20th, and it was for 2 comics. I've only got one of them here because the other one was a duplicate that I've been sent by mistake. So I bought these from Susanna Carter, and when she packed them up, she put the wrong comic in the package, and I received, I should have got an issue 313, instead she sent me an issue 316, which I already had. So I contacted her. She says, I'm going to send you a package, I'm going to send you the replacement comic with a returns label so you can send it back. And then, sure enough, a couple of days later, I received the new package, and, well, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, so this was the comic that I got from that comic lot that arrived on the 20th that I did need, which is 324, but it also came with a 316, which I didn't need, which was a duplicate, so I had to complain about it and send it back. Then Show Z order arrived. Now I got Magic Square Voice Ripple, the B version, the repainted version a while back. Didn't come with any cassettes, so if you've got a Soundwave, you've got to have the cassettes with it. And the original pack of Magic Square cassettes sold out quite quickly, and when you see it now on sale, it goes for ridiculous scalper premiums. But fortunately, Magic Square knew this. They knew that they were releasing new variants of the Magic Ripple Soundwave, so they had to put some more cassettes out there. So they put this new, slightly retooled, repainted set of cassette or tape bots or whatever they're called, and so I ordered it, and ordered it from Show Z using the that code from Toys R Us to get some money off. In fact, I had a couple of coupons I was able to use on it, and I was supposed to have paid I think it was 30 something quid for it, and I got them for just under 20 quid. So then we've got the bird. I've got the names from somewhere. And then you've got, okay, so basically Laserbeak, Rumble or Blue Rumble, which it could be Frenzy, Blue Frenzy, whatever you prefer. To me, this will always be Rumble, so I've got him. And we got a little tiny Ravage, very short wheelbase, decently posable, but I wish it had a bit longer. I think it should be a bit longer in my opinion, but there it is. And it also came with this thing, the maintenance drone. So it came with that. So they arrived on the 20th, same day as those comics that I got. So I got the Magic Square tape team. As you can see, they're very small. They scrunch down into a little box which fits in Voice Ripple's chest cavity. So they're pretty decent. And then the final bot to arrive on the 23rd. Again, I got notifications for this from Comics and Cocktails that they were processing my order. I saw a few people walking around with these at TFNation, but I understand there was a few in the dealer hall on Saturday morning for early access, but they got snapped up very quickly. But I pre-ordered mine from Comics and Cocktails, and it arrived. Studio Series 86 Swoop. Oh yes, the flyboy of the G1 Dinobots. I've got him. Awesome figure. Very, very chunky. Very tactile. Very sturdy. Blocky. Whatever you want to call him. It's just G1 Swoop in sort of leader class, Generations leader class form. Very chunky bot. Simple transformation, not much more than the G1 figure. You get these the chest blocks scrunch in and come out, and they're ever so chunky. The hinges on them are massive, and yeah, it's a really good figure. It transforms, very easy to transform to Dino mode. Looks super cool. Can't say more about it really. It's an amazing figure, and if you haven't got yours yet, why not? Go out there and get it. They're starting to filter through into the UK market now. If they appear in Smiths, which hopefully they will do eventually, go snap them up. If not, check out the usual online retailers like Kapow and In Demand, Comics and Cocktails. Check them out, see if they've got any. But yeah, got mine. It does have a slight paint blemish on one of the legs. I think some of the lacquer is a blob of the lacquer's just spewed out. But apart from that, he's virtually flawless. He's really cool, and I like him a lot. So he's the last bot that arrived, and then finally on the 24th, my replacement comic arrived from Susanna Carter. So issue 313, this is the one I should have got instead of issue 316, and that completed my comic run for this month. So there you go, there's my haul for August of 2024. Quite a haul, as you saw. Mostly, majority of the stuff was from TFNation. 24 items I bought at TFNation, and then there's the other bits and pieces that I got outside the convention because I just they're the main focus of these end of month bot hauls. Yeah, so there it is. Now, end of the video. Time to do the first and worst, which is something I do at the end of every haul video, where I pick the best thing or the thing I like the most, and the worst thing and the thing I like the least, and I put them up and say first and worst, and that's the stuff. Pretty obvious which ones they're going to be. First and worst. So worst, Beast Machine Strika. I bought this for the character, not necessarily the toy. The toy is a bit shonky. It's the wrong colour. It's got weird arms. The transformation's bizarre on this thing. Not great. Not a great figure. It's not a mark against Strika as a character. It's just this toy of her doesn't do her justice, basically. So that's why I thought it was the worst thing that I got this month. And then the best thing, I'm sure this will be appearing on a lot of people's top bots list come the end of the year. Studio Series 86 Swoop. He's really good. Super solid. Simple transformation. What more could you want from a leader class Dinobot? Awesome. So there you go. I've managed to get this video done in under an hour, just about. So let's wrap things up. I've been TFI Wilderness. This has been my haul for August of 2024. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.